Good morning, and today we're down in Jarrow. We're going to have a walk around Jarrow Hall. So how a join we? Let's begin. Today I'm at the historic Jarrow Hall, a place that takes us back to the roots of Anglo Saxon England. Just imagine, this was once a vibrant centre of learning and culture over 1,300 years ago. Are you ready to explore? So let's dive in. Jarrow Hall is not just a house. It was once part of an important monastery. Founded in the 7th century, Jarrow was well known for being connected to St Paul's Monastery, together with its sister monastery at Monk Wearmouth. They formed a notable community. It was under this roof that the Anglo Saxon scholar known as the Venerable Bede lived and worked. Bede, who was born around 673 AD, is one of the most significant figures in early English history. He was a monk, historian, and often referred to as the father of English history. Can you believe he wrote more than 40 books? And here's something fascinating. Bede's work was so exceptional that it won him the title of the Venerable after his death, and we celebrate his feast day on May the 25th every year. But the legacy of Jarrow Hall doesn't end with Bede. It's also home to an impressive Anglo Saxon farm, which illustrates how people lived and worked in that era. This is the Anglo Saxon farm that gives us a glimpse into the daily lives of those who lived here. The farming techniques they used and the crops they grew were essential to sustaining the community. They cultivated things like barley and rye and raised livestock such as sheep and cows. What makes this place even more incredible is that the tools they used are still relevant today. This was a time when agriculture was the backbone of society. Without these innovations and the hard work of those earlier generations, we may not have farming practices we use today. Now, let's pivot back to Bede. He was not just a chronicler, he was also an innovator in education. His writing style was clear and approachable, making complex religious and historical topics accessible to the wider audience. Can you imagine what it must have been like to read his works during the time when literacy was scarce? The impact of Bede's work reached far beyond Jarrow. His influences is still felt today as historians and scholars refer to his writings for the foundational knowledge about English history. Jarrow Hall stands not only as a tribute to him, but also as a reminder of how interconnected our past is. I am struck by the profound legacy of Venerable Bede and the importance of places like Jarrow Hall. We're now at the start of St. Paul's Monastery in Jarrow. You may be wondering, founded in the 7th century by the Venerable Bede, St. Paul's Monastery is not only a site of great religious significance, but also a cornerstone of scholarship and education. During the Anglo Saxon era, Bede, often referred to as the father of English history, was a monk here, and his contributions are still celebrated today. As we stroll along his ancient paths, let's take a moment to appreciate the incredible spirit of learning that one thrived within these walls. Did you know that Bede's writings offered some of the earliest insights into English life? At its peak, St. Paul's was a bustling hub of knowledge. It housed a library and even boasted a scriptorium where monks meticulously copied and preserved texts. Imagine scholars working late into the night with candles flickering, ensuring that the precise knowledge was not lost to time. That's how much they valued education. And to think this was all happening right here, almost 1,400 years ago. But life in the monastery wasn't solely about studying. Monks led strict routines filled with prayer, work and community service. They were the beacons of hope, helping the local population with education, healthcare and agriculture. The monastery was literally the heart of Jarrow. And here's a little known fact. The monastery also played a significant role in the Christianization of England. It was one of the first places to spread Christianity to the surrounding areas. If you think about it, this place was pivotal for spiritual renewal at the time. Talk about monumental impact. Alright, so let's talk architecture. The original church structure has gone many changes, but the foundational layout reflects typical early Christian designs, simple yet powerful in its message. You can almost feel the serene energy just standing here. I can't stress enough how important it is to preserve places like St. Paul's Monastery. They remind us of our rich history and hold the stories of those who came before us. If you ever find yourself in this area, I wholeheartedly recommend you visit. You leave with not just the knowledge, but a sense of connection to the past. These sites tell a story of perseverance, education, and community during a time of turbulence. So the next time you find yourself reading about historical figures or events, remember, there are countless stories hidden in places just like this one. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time. If you found this video fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more adventures coming your way. Also leave a comment below. So until the next time, stay curious and keep exploring.